it's Suze, and welcome to tonight's episode of Keep the Bad Guys Away. Hey, nice to see you. And you're listening to a remix, offshoot version of the popular Michael Jackson song, They Don't Care About Us. If you've ever seen the video, there's some people with the big MP around their arm. I'm such a big fan of the military police. But anyway, so They Don't Care About Us is the theme song. I've got just about every version that exists. So I'll put up the artist at the end of this video. But hey, nice to see you. The spies were out today at the hospital. Here's the latest what they're pulling. First of all, I got screwed. You know, I'm an ICU and ER nurse, right? So I flip back and forth. You know, sometimes it's fun to have a little bit of change, right? So I get my schedule today, and I knew that they were going to do this. I warned my travel company, and they were doing this. This is like a known plot that's been going on for a few weeks here. See, there's a class called Trauma Nurse Core Curriculum, which now a lot of these ERs are requiring. And of course, I can never get into one. Now, they got one coming up here where I am. The hospital education department is actually providing the class, but my manager won't let me have the days off. Now, it's actually written in my contract extension for me to have March 17th and 18th off, for me to take the take this TNCC. But of course, the manager didn't let me have it off. Now, get this. I go to register for the class. This is a couple weeks ago. And the education department, which is over in the next city where I am, they were saying, oh, well, you have to have the nurse manager sign the form, you know, before you can, like, pay for the class and get the book and all this. And I'm thinking to myself, but you're registered, but, like, not really fully registered. I'm thinking to myself, well, what the heck? I'm a contractor. I'm paying for this out of pocket. You know, $300 is what this TNCC course costs. And so I'm like, I'm paying for this out of pocket, so why the heck, you know, I don't work for the hospital, I work for TrueStaff, so why do you need the nurse manager's signature? Oh, we need the nurse manager's signature. Well, and you know, I asked the nurse manager about this a couple weeks ago. She's like, oh, I'll have to look at the staffing, and oh, I don't know. And then I asked the liaison, TrueStaff has got a liaison out here, and he's like, and I'm telling the liaison, Paul, and I'm like, dude, you know, she's not letting me have this time off. It doesn't look like, you know, or she's playing games with it or something's going on. And he's like, I'm like, she's coming up with this story that she's sending 5 nurses to the TNCC class. And so she doesn't know if she can give me the days off. That was a couple weeks ago. And then Paul's like, you know, she's like, the ICU nurses don't need TNCC, so that just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, yeah, totally. But basically what it boils down to is that hospital education was trying to prevent me from taking the TNCC class, coming up with some kind of excuse. I need the signature of the manager. And then, of course, the manager has to come up with an excuse as to why she won't sign the form, so then I would be allowed to pay for the class and get the book. And then, of course, they're just going to scapegoat it on the fact that they're just not going to let me have the days off, because I got my schedule today right here. They're not letting me have the days off to take the class. So it's being done intentional. All intentional, just like everything else. See, because if I don't have this TNCC class, and so many ERs these days want travel nurses, contract nurses like me to have that class. If I don't have that class, I'm not going to be able to work in the ER. And what that does is that shoots me out of potential job options. So right now, I don't even know if I have a job past the end of April in the ICU at the hospital that I'm at now. I do not know at this point. I wouldn't be able to even apply for a job in the emergency room unless I had this TNCC class, and the ER has got needs all the time. So it's a whole big scam. I'm telling you, it's all being funneled through this FBI, this Mark Moore, and this FBI task force, and all this damn bullshit. So, you know, I'm like, whatever. So that's crime number 1 that I saw happen this morning. What a bunch of bullshit. Well, you know, I'm still going to take the TNCC class. I'll just give my $300 to somebody else. Okay, crime number 2, you know, of course, the nurse that comes on tonight, it's like, you know, she happens to be foreign, and I knew exactly what they were doing, you know, it's like, first she starts to say that, oh, Avon, see, I have my Avon bag with me, because, you know, I'm the Avon lady, so she's like, oh, you know, I used to sell Avon, but I had to quit, you know, because the family is just my kid and all this stuff, or whatever the heck came up with some crap. Well, that would be something in common with me. I didn't have to quit Avon, selling Avon. I was forced to quit Avon due to crime. You know, I got locked out of my Avon accounts as being the Avon lady like a couple times last year just because of crime, organized crime. So I was telling her. So I was showing her this, and I said, and you know, she wants to know about my business, and if my business is being successful. I said, yeah, well, I'm trying to build my business online so I can get the hell out of this country. I said, International Criminal Court. You ever heard of the International Criminal Court? She's like, oh yeah, I've heard of them. I'm sitting here thinking, I bet you really have. There's not that many people that know of the ICC. They're in the nursing profession. But I'm like, oh yeah, well, 122 countries, you know, have a treaty with the ICC. And so, you know, I'm going to go and live in one of those other countries. And then, you know, I'm like, well, you know, I said, I'd be living in Mexico right now, who has a treaty with the ICC, if I had enough money to leave. I said, the only reason I'm in the United States is because I don't have enough money to leave and stay there permanently. So, and then she's like, oh, well, what about, like, you know, she's like, ask me what these other countries. I'm like, well, Canada's got, you know, a treaty with the ICC. She's like, well, what about Canada? And I'm sitting there thinking, no, the only thing that's wrong with Canada, the only one thing that's wrong with Canada, they don't have the military police that already know this case. See, in Mexico, the MPs already know this case. They know me. The MPs know who I am. The MPs know me from Acapulco. The MPs know me from most recently in Reynosa, because I flew in from Barrow, Alaska into Mexico City into Reynosa, and even the military police's canine dogs have my scent. You know, I went to the airport and they're always bringing their canine dogs through and all that. So, and then I had a piece of my luggage sitting kind of out, and one of the MPs set their dog up, and the dog even sniffed it twice. See? MPs have my scent. Just want to let you know, MPs there in Reynosa, do you know they stole all my luggage? Everything that went through your Reynosa airport that your German Shepherd, your badass German Shepherd sniffed, they ripped off. All the nice Briggs & Riley luggage. Can you believe that? Oh my God. But the MP dogs have my scent, so the MPs know me. So this is why I'm like so insistent about, you know, Mexico. I totally dig it. And you know, I went back to the United States. I actually tried to stay as close as I possibly could to my ice guys. See, I love my ice guys. I feel very comfortable around my ice guys. If I can see Border Patrol every few feet, that makes me very, very happy. I'm very, very, you know, calm with that. When you know, especially when I have to be in America that's full of corruption. I get a little worried when I'm not living near my ICE guys. So I was trying to stay as near as I possibly could to ICE, which would mean Border Patrol and Customs and all that. And then I just crossed back over. I was in the city of Hidalgo, and I would just cross over for the day, and I would sit as close to the military police as I possibly could. You know, God, I really wanted a photo with the MPs. I mean, I'm telling you, man. It's like, but you know, they just look. Have you ever seen the MPs? Oh boy, if you haven't, they are just a sight. I mean, I'm telling you, man, they had like their big tank, and they had their big machine guns that are like literally like this big. And I mean, they just have the look, the guard look on their face, like they could just kill anything that comes near, that causes harm, that does anything. I mean, they would just kill somebody in a heartbeat. I mean, man, dude, it's very impressive. Extremely impressive, you know, from somebody that's just like, wow, man, that's, you know, but, you know, they're like that for a reason. You see, the FBI won't be able to hack me around the military police. They'd probably be able to hack me up in Canada. They're not going to be able to hack me near the military police in Mexico. It's just not going to work. You know, they might try to, you know, do something with a Mexican. They could do something with the government of Mexico, but I seriously doubt it. But they're not going to come near the military police in Mexico. This Mark Moore, these FBI guys, no way. So, but anyway, I was supposed to give this back to Mexican immigration. Like, they explained to me this little pass was good for 6 months. But, you know, so I was supposed to give this back to them. Okay, you know, the next time I'm down in Mexico, Mexican immigration, I'm going to give this back to you. Well, what happened is that, you know, I got railroaded down there in Hidalgo County and then in Cameron County. And so then I had to, like, just bail out of Texas altogether. But, so anyway, that's why I couldn't cross the border again and give this back to you. But I guarantee you, you'll get it. Right now, it's evidence, though, that I've been to your country. But I'm just telling you, you know, it's like they just always want to find out what the hell I'm doing. You know, but what's really weird, it doesn't matter even if I didn't talk at all, they'd be able to know because they pull all the spies and espionage and hit my computers. And, you know, there's nothing that I can ever do that would ever be secret at all because of the nature of all of these FBI agents and these CIA people. So even like a safety plan that I execute myself, which is like all of them for the most part, it's like the bad guys are always waiting on the other side. So, I mean, I don't know, pretty crazy, pretty dangerous, but that's just the way things are. But I saw spies out tonight, got screwed by the nurse manager, can't take the TNCC class. So, you know, I'm already seeing the early signs of someone trying to put me out on the streets here in a couple months. Because remember, the FBI, CIA, Al-Qaeda task forces love to put me on the streets. So this is a pre-warning sign. Warning, warning, danger, danger. Well, you know what? You know, I get left without a job and there's just like no jobs available. I'm going right down and hanging out with the military police there in Mexico. I mean, I already got that set up. I might even go there beforehand. I mean, but that's just how crazy it is. But that's what they're doing. They're hacking these nurses, you know. And then, okay, now here's another thing that's important about people trying to push me into Canada. Why do you want to go to Mexico? Aren't you worried about, you know, Mexican government being corrupt or whatever? And I'm like, why don't you go to Canada? And I'm like thinking to myself, they were pushing that down in the Salvation Army when I was in McAllen, Texas. There was some girl that claimed to have just come over from Reynosa and was trying to get papers for her husband, and she had a couple kids with her because I was living at the homeless shelter, the Salvation Army homeless shelter. And I was telling her about the same kind of thing, you know, because the reason why I like talk to people, because I just think that every now and then I might run into somebody that might not be a spy or an informant, but God, it just seems to be like everybody is. But she's trying to say, oh, don't go to Mexico, go to Canada. So it's like, oh yeah, push me into Canada where like nobody knows my case. I mean, the only time that I've been to Canada in the last few years is when I flew over Canada going to Alaska. So I've been through Canadian airspace, but I haven't been into Canada since all this crap of 10 years. So they don't really know me or know my case like Mexico does. And like I said, Mexico's got the military police everywhere, and I'm such a big fan of the military police. But anyway, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Well, you're never really going to know what I'm going to do because I'm going to catch you, like, you know, I'm going to catch you when you least expect it. But that's what, you know, at least I can say the police where I live, thank God, the police where I live are really, really nice. Whew. If the police where I live weren't really, really nice, I don't know what I would do with myself, because let me tell you, bad cops, very dangerous. Never go to Hidalgo, Texas. They're all corrupt. They're all corrupt in Hidalgo County too, man, dude. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust any of them. No way, no chance, no go. Like I said, Border Patrol is pretty pissed down there in Texas. But anyway, so that's tonight's episode of Keep the Bad Guys Away. See you next time.